to you by Best Movie Ratings. Best Movie Ratings is a one-stop, easy and elegant movie ratings experience. Stop wasting your time on bad movies and download the world's best movie ratings app from the iTunes App Store now.
You applied for the university, for the embassy.
No.
You contacted the embassy.
Yeah, I contacted by email. I contacted the embassy. I said, hey, I want to do this event in Iraq. So I want to meet the ambassador to ask him some questions about the situation in Iraq. And I sent some links. And actually, very funny, they answered me not by email but by phone after like very short time, like an hour maybe. And they said, hey, can you come tomorrow to the embassy? I said, yeah, I can come tomorrow. So I went to the ambassador and I was like, it is the first connection with a guy that represents Iraq. And he just came from Iraq. So I hold my laptop and I went to him to do a presentation as I used to do, but I was not welcome to do a presentation in the embassy. You are sitting from His Excellency Ambassador. So I was like, okay, I put it on his desk and I show him, and he was like, what are you talking about? My God. Okay. And he said, listen, stop talking about what do you want to do, about TED, about this. Nobody will understand you there. I will teach you how to do it. And I was like, wow. And suddenly, he was not talking to me as an ambassador. Then I understood, then I knew he was a university teacher, this ambassador, before he become. So he is teaching me as one of his students, you know? And he told me like, hey, let's do it right way. This is big. I like your energy. So let's do it in a right way. This is good for our country. So let's try it for the Prime Minister office. I said, why? He said, let's do it. They will support this event. Okay, and you are telling you don't have money to do it. Okay, so let's do it. I said, okay. Then I went, how shall I write to a Prime Minister? I never wrote an official letter. Okay, never ever in my life. And then I was like, it took me like, I believe like many weeks, maybe 2 months to write this letter with help with one friend. And I wrote an Arabic version and English version. Because I forget to ask which language he wanted. So I had like two languages, 2 letters, and I went very happy to him. And I told him, I gave him these 2 letters, and then he was reading like this, and like he is moving and talking with slow motion. So he is doing like this, and he is saying, "Do you know the Prime Minister of Iraq?" I said, "Yes, I know him." Yeah, and Mr. Nouri al-Maliki, he said, no, that was not my question. Do you know him? Is it any personal relationship between you and him or your family and him? I said, why? No. And he said, how can you write, dear Prime Minister? This is not right language. This is not good. How can you write, dear Prime Minister? Dear Prime Minister, you need to use an official language. Thank God it was only the English letter, so he just threw it away. And he kept the Arabic one. It was better quality, language quality. And actually in this letter, we put a deadline for the government. We want to have your answer before certain day. So we have time to organize
For the Prime Minister.
For the Prime Minister, okay? And we needed just a location, a safe location, okay? And transportation to transport us like from the airport to the event location. That's it. That is what I need.
What
Nothing
was
more.
the deadline? How many days?
I believe it was 2 months, 2 or 3 months, was it? From the day we sent it, okay? And then I still remember these words. When the ambassador walks me out from the room, and he's telling, hey, my kid, listen, now you are going to Iraq.
My son, Ibni, in Iraqi accent, yeah.
Now you are going to Iraq. Don't be disappointed. I was, how can you talk like this? Hey, you represent Iraq. He said, listen, you are going to build a wall. So if you build a wall from 10 blocks in Iraq, they will damage 9 of these 10 blocks. So you will have 1 block left, but nobody can remove this block. So you're going to put another 10 blocks there. So they will damage 9 of those blocks. So you will keep another 1. And so on, so on, so on, so on. So you are building this country. I didn't understood what he meant, but later on I understood that what you are going to be, it's going to be like hell. Very difficult. And people try to push you out and to take you down and to say you are bad, you are doing that for whatever. We sent this letter and was waiting for an answer. Nobody answered. Whatever I asked, no answer from the Iraqi government, of course. And I was taking the train going back to my job. And suddenly at 7 o'clock in the morning, still remember this moment, my mobile phone started somebody calling me. I said, oh my God, who's calling me? My wife? No, I don't want to answer. Then I see it is no caller ID. I said, huh? Then I say, hello? And somebody speaking in Arabic, he say, I am blah, 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 from Iraqi Prime Minister office. It was like, and the train is crowded with people going to work. So I was like pushing people around to go out. When the train stopped, I didn't want to lose him, and I wanted him to listen, and I want to listen what he's saying. So I said, just please wait. And I push. I didn't know what I did, but I get out from the train. And it was, yes. And he said, hey, your letter, we received your letter. And you get the Prime Minister signed it. And he is welcoming the TEDx in Iraq, in Baghdad. And at this time, I didn't believe it, if I will be honest with you. It can be anyone. Okay? So I said, can you send it to my email, a copy? Like very strong. He said, yeah. In 5 minutes, you will receive it. So when I arrived to my job, I receive it and I see it. My God, it is true. Then they start to contact me. When are you going to come to Iraq? By the way, it was the day they called. It was exactly the last day in the deadline we put on the letter. Believe it or not. So it was the last day, okay, from the deadline.
So they committed to the deadline.
100%. But in the last day, okay. so I booked the ticket, and it was very, 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 very difficult decision to go back to Iran.
You quit your job, or you took a vacation, or what did you do?
Yes, as I told you, they have been like very supporting me during my journey with TEDx. So at this time, I took, just because my visit was very short, like just for a few days. So I took a vacation at this time, during this visit. Okay, I took a few days vacation, and then
you bought a ticket and you went to Iraq without knowing anyone. And what's the story in the airport when you are like seeing the board going to Iraq?
I landed it was Austrian airline, and I landed in Geneva, I believe, what's it called? Geneva, yeah.
Geneva,
Yeah, I landed there, and I had 1.5 hour, just like a connection flight. And I see, like, my God, it says Baghdad there. My God, on the board, and I just a few steps from Iraq. And the funny thing, I took a photo because I couldn't believe it. It's almost there, I want to touch it. I am almost there. But there is millions of questions in my head. Whom shall I meet there? Like, I don't know anyone there. Where shall I stay? Because they don't tell you anything. They said, like, just come, book a ticket and come. That's it, very easy, in the phone. No official email, nobody. I knew just a name. He's calling me and he's saying, come, we will wait for you. Okay.
How far was that from your first TED event, or when you spoke on the stage and you said 5 years? And how far was that? Less than a year?
It is like just 3-4 months maximum.
Wow.
And in front of me, in the row, standing in the row to the plane, it was a Canadian guy, business guy. And the guy who was checking the passport, he was from Egypt. So he checked the Canadian guy passport, and he refused him to get to the plane because he didn't have a visa to Iraq. I said, oh my God, wow. My God, yes, we are asking visa from people to attend our country. But I faced another problem. I have a Swedish passport and there is no visa inside.
Oh, you didn't apply for a visa from the embassy?
Why shall I apply?
Thinking that you are Iraqi, but you don't hold an Iraqi passport.
No. So this time I realized I am not an Iraqi guy. But I was like, those few seconds that feels like hours to go to this Egyptian guy and control your passport. What shall I tell him? I gave him my passport, and then he was looking, and he just like denied entrance to a guy, a businessman, very wealthy. He seems very wealthy, this guy. So what shall he do with this poor guy like me? Okay, I'm coming there, and I said, I know I am Iraqi, but my Swedish passport, the problems before with the government. And so he said, hey, stop talking, my guy, my kid, hey, just go to the plane. I see you are an Iraqi, you are welcome, okay? And I took the plane, and I was sitting there.
So he allowed you, just with your Swedish passport, to get in there?
Yeah, he saw me like, don't speak, don't talk, just go. You are Iraqi, I see you. I was like, yes, finally somebody telling me that I am an Iraqi guy. And then I took the plane, actually, and like you are sitting, you want to get there, like it felt like it took like 4 hours or 5 hours, but it felt like ages to get there, because I really wanted. And through my window, I see like Baghdad city. I see how green it is from top, and I make a photo. And when I tweeted, I said, heaven on earth. That's it. That was my tweet. At the plane,
so you had internet on the plane.
You use this visa connection thing. Okay. So at the plane, I met a Dutch businessman. And then during those hours, we have been chatting, like speaking about his experiences, because he visited Iraq many times. And he was teaching me about Iraq. So when I ended my conversation, and he was speaking about crazy things, nobody was telling me. The ambassador, my friend, nobody was telling me about them. Like, for example, like when you get to the checkpoint, you need to turn off the lights of your car. No speaking on mobile, because they think you will donate a bomb and they will shoot on you. And you need to turn the light inside the car, put down the window. I said, only to pass a checkpoint?
In the
My
street.
God, all this.
If you are driving in the street, yeah.
in Baghdad, yeah. And he said, my God, where are you staying? I said, I don't know. He said, don't stay in upper levels of hotel because you get attacked by bombs. I am always staying in the first or second level. Like, a lot of bad information.
Just to explain to the audience why he lives in the first floor, because usually the hotels are covered by concrete fence, high concrete fence. So if they're gonna hit the hotel by RPG, they will hit the upper floors. That's why he's advising you that. Yeah.
Small things, but it meant big for me. But after that, I told him, the life is so crazy. A Dutch guy explaining to Iraqi guy how Iraq is, this is not right. Okay? And he was laughing, and that's it. We arrived there, and it was the most sad moment in my life when I arrived to Baghdad International Airport. Because, at this time, or usually when you visit a home country, so-called home country, you will find somebody waiting for you there, a relative, friend. But when you don't find anyone waiting for you, then you are not at home. Of course you are not at home. So it was very, very, very bad and very emotional
sad moment, yeah.
A very sad moment. And especially when they took my passport, it was one guy actually waiting for me from the Prime Minister office there, and he took my passport and he went through it and he didn't see a visa. And I saw they speaking about it, and he came back to me and it was written in Arabic, like the origin, Iraqi origin, like from Iraq, okay, like allowing him instead of visa, okay, like writing with hand. Then I went.
What a procedure, yeah.
Yeah. Then I went there.
You went with him, yeah.
And
where did he
I went
take
with
you?
him with an armed vehicle. And like the door was too heavy. I asked why it is too heavy. He's like against the bullets and so. An armed vehicle, never been in this, and suddenly he taking me to the green zone. Oh, okay. Why it is a green zone? I didn't know anything about this. Why it is a green zone? Okay, what is a green zone? And then he taking me to the car stands in front of a very big black door with a symbol of the Iraqi flag there, like very golden one. And they just open the door like this, and I see waterfalls, I see flowers, I see grass there, and I see beautiful buildings standing up there. And actually I went, by the way, I forget to tell you, like in Europe, when you live, you have very simple life. Very simple life. So like when you are going to meeting like this, it is very normal.
A simple shirt, yeah.
Yeah. At this time, it was like it was very fashion to wear like a shirt like this with a flower print here and there. And I went to the ambassador with
so
this.
It's like you are wearing like a Hawaiian shirt going to meet the Prime Minister.
Yeah,
okay.
So when I arrived there...
And you didn't have a suit with you in the bag?
I am traveling. Of course, I had it in bag, but not during my travel.
Okay.
It was a long journey. Okay, so I want to have like something good, comfortable. Okay, and I see, my God, even the little guy who works there is like have a suit there, And I see a beautiful place there, a 7-star hotel. I said, my God, what is that? What are they thinking? I'm just coming here to do an event, nothing more. And I told them I'm doing an event, nothing. I'm not doing anything more. And I go, they take me up to my room. It was totally empty, this place. It was the guest house of the Prime Minister. and it was totally empty.
And by the way, like any Iraqi who've been in Iraq and he's away, he would never think of contacting the embassy to make an event in such an official way that you have done it. But because you have no clue about the country, you took this step and it worked for you.
Yes, and honestly, I was also I saw on the internet once. I had like this application, like it's giving you like daily quotes, and I like one, a beautiful one. It says like shoot for the moon. Yeah, shoot for the moon, and if you miss, you will land between the stars. And I said, okay, like for the biggest one, the biggest head, I will go directly to him. That's it. If I miss, he will send me to different ministers. That's it. Very easy. Easy calculation. So I shot for the big head. It worked. So, okay. So I went there and I see all like a whole room was covered, like towers, like bed, everything like stamped with this PM office, like Prime Minister office with golden. I said, my God, it is very serious. I am afraid. I took my phone, I called my wife, I said, hey, help me. I don't know what shall I do. And she said again, take it easy. You do what you like to do and what you come to do. I said, my God, they put me in this place. I cannot go out. I don't know. Almost, I want to run away, to be honest with you. That's it, okay? And they took me actually from a place to place to select the venue. And oh my God, I experienced a lot of bad thing, and how the community was damaged actually at this time. Very bad qualities. I went to different universities. How people think, how bad technology is to present things, lighting, sound, everything. Like it was totally bad. And the last place they showed me, it was a Rashid Hotel. It is the only 5-star hotel inside the green zone. But why they didn't show it to me from the beginning, and why they put me in the guest house actually, because this hotel, it is not because I am something, no. It is because of this hotel was under the renovation. Okay? So it is not it is not open.
They put you in the guest house, which was prepared for the Arab something event.
Summit.
Yeah.
Arab Summit. The Arab Summit.
And it was a brand new building that they built specially for that summit, and they put you like in the places where they put any prime minister or president who visits. Yeah.
Presidents only for presidents, not a prime minister level. So they built it only for presidents there. So no ambassador.
So you
nothing
were treated as a royalty when visiting the first time. That's great.
The first, the first time, But later on, it was a different story. So when I visited this hotel, 5-star hotel, where I supposed to be, I saw a big stage, but totally covered in plastic, lights, everything, totally covered in plastic. I said, I want this. This is my place. Really, I want to book this. It was no management, nothing, just a company to renovate this hotel. So I went back to the Netherlands. I start sending thousands.
So the first visit, how long it took?
A few days, 3 days maybe, if I remember right. Only to check the places. And then when I saw it is serious, I start to build a team. I start to create a Facebook page. I start to do a live stream there. I start to contact, to ask for volunteer, all that online. After and during my first visit, actually, I visited a few NGOs, to be honest with you, okay? And I did the presentations also. about TED and TEDx. And also when I visited universities, I also did presentations about what am I going to present, okay? And then we asked for volunteer, I built a team, suddenly we grow up from just a few likes to hundreds likes, and people start to ask about what is TED, what is TEDx, what do you want to do? Is it connected to government? Is it connected to religion? All those questions, like it is something new. Nobody knows about that. And I went back to the Netherlands and I start to send emails like, hey, come on, I want to do the event. Come on, I want to get back. Okay, just book this hotel. Send me a booking for this hotel. So I forced them. Okay, so finally they sent me a booking for this hotel. During this time, I worked on sponsoring, and it was absolutely impossible to get a sponsor. Nobody knew about you, nothing. Okay.
Why getting sponsoring? Like how usually TED events work? Like you should get sponsors to cover up the cost of making the events. How much each event costs approximately?
It depends. Like TEDx event, they don't say that you need to do it big or small. Like you have events just with a few people there, in an office or outside on the street, and you have event they have like 2,500, 1,500 invitees, and with a big budget, I'm talking hundreds of thousands of US dollars. So it depends. There is no rule between them. The most important that you get a service or money to buy a service. So if I am coming to you, I say, hey, can you film or can you give me money to film? Okay. And can you deliver food to my guests or give me money so I can buy food to my guests? Can you give me the location for free or can you give me money so I rent the location? That is how it works, basically. Okay? So you ask money or service. That is what is it. So basically, like I start to work on sponsoring, but of course, like I discover the hard truth there. It was not easy because the trust was gone in Iraq. Okay, why you are doing this event? My God, it's crazy. Okay, do you still believe? Like I get a lot of those questions and emails and messages on Facebook. My God, stay in your country, Holland. Don't come here. You are just like, you will go empty-handed. You will never find brilliant bread. Everyone run away from this bad country. Who will sponsor? Nobody sponsored. And actually, we get zero sponsor, to be honest with you. Okay?
So the government sponsored the event? The first one? And the first one was in 2011, right?
Yes. So I went back to Iraq. As I said, I forced them to get a reservation for the hotel. And I get a reservation for the hotel. And I went back to Iraq to prepare the event. Okay? During this online preparation period, I was working still in my work. Okay, so I was like during the breaks answering my emails or staying late after my job, like after 6 o'clock until 9 or 11 o'clock, just answering my emails and writing those official letters to the Prime Minister office. And I arrived back to Iraq, but this time, no, I had somebody waiting for me.
After how long?
After, I believe, it was in August somewhere.
So
okay?
After how many months? 3 months? 4 months?
Yeah, 3, almost 4. Okay, and I stayed there in this guest house again for more than 2 months. Okay. And it was the hardest time for me because it was like a golden cage. You are not allowed to go out. You're just staying there. And I had one driver to drive me to the meeting, to meet the speakers, to meet the universities, to meet the volunteers. And when I tried to get the volunteer inside the green zone, they didn't allow laptops, they didn't allow phones. Very hard security regulations there. Okay, so it was like very, very hard time.
How did you find the speakers?
Just looking, searching, okay, on the internet, and we did an online form, two online forms, one that you suggest a speaker, or you apply by yourself as a speaker. So usually we get like around 800 applications, like. And the first year we get around 500 and something like this applications. From those, we selected 2 or 3 only. And the rest, we just ask around. My network started to grow up as virus, like crazy. And people started to ask, I see somebody, like he is a great talent. He is sitting in
so
my...
So the people who were recommending for you some speakers.
Yeah. And that's something that I discovered later on. The talented people with a great mind, they never show themselves. They sitting in their corner, in their homes, offices, shops, and they just do their things for their small community, for their street, for their neighbors. So they don't like to be like, hey, I am the best one. So it is very hard to find them. But thank God we succeeded to find many of them. And yeah, by the way, we did an online application by mean, like if you want to be a speaker, you need to film yourself for 1 minute, saying your idea, and you send us the link. And we will see it, how you present, and we will decide yes or no. So this is one of the competitions also we did to get to the stage.
So like now, anyone who wants to apply for a license to be a licensee in his city, he just can fill a form, send it to TED, apply for a TEDx license, and it's for free. They will not charge you for it. They will either approve it or no.
Yeah, it's totally for free. That is totally for free everywhere.
And they give you 1 year license. Every year they renew it for you.
They renew it, okay? So basically, what happened later on, I asked for kind of a group of people, a committee, to help me from the government side to get like what I needed. Okay, I need lighting, I need sound system, I need whatever. Okay, I need to get access to the green zone, like for people. And I get a lady that was the head of this committee. And after 1 hour meeting, what she decided, hey, I am not welcoming this event. And we will disband it to 2014. This was in 2011, 1 month or 3 weeks before the event, when I prepared everything.
And this is like when after you stayed 2 months, maybe.
During these 2 months. So I had just 3 weeks, booked the tickets. Okay, I got one sponsor to pay the tickets. Okay, for me and for the people or for the speakers we get from outside, and the rest was paid. Yeah, and the rest was paid by the government, and we didn't touch it because they just paid to each other. Paid to the hotel, paid to the food.
And how about like the normal events outside? Usually, like in any other different city in the world, they usually sponsor these things. The event itself, the organizers for the speakers, or the speakers comes and pay for the tickets and everything. How it works?
It depends. Like what happened to us. Like it is, as I told you, it is very difficult to get sponsors here in Iraq. Very difficult.
No, I know about the situation in Iraq and what happened to you, but like usually for any normal event.
It depends.
Sometimes they
Ahmed.
pay for the tickets and accommodations and things, and sometimes they ask them to pay for.
It depends, as I said, like it depends because sometimes you get a big sponsor, so you can pay. Sometimes you ask them to pay a part of it. Sometimes you ask them, no, you can pay. So it depends, totally depends. But it is open. Okay, it depends on how big money, how much money you get for your event. So she said like, okay, she at this time she destroyed everything I have done. Like it is almost, let's say I started from end 2010 preparing to realize my dream, and now we are somewhere in September, and this little lady, she's telling me, you are not allowed to do it.
Why?
She didn't want to show herself that she is the one who is deciding. Because she saw me, I am like, hey, I want this and I want this, and I wanted at this deadline and I want it there. I have my planning.
You mean she wanted to be in the picture and she was not in the picture of organizing?
Yes, yes. And basically, I didn't want them. Like, okay, why I don't need you. You are kind of a sponsor to me. That's it. No more, no less. So you are not putting any rules for me. Okay? You are a sponsor. You will get your logo on a printed material. That's it. You don't put any rules. So I was very hard. Nothing are allowed. Okay? And she didn't like it, and she didn't like me. And she said like, okay, let's postpone it to 2014. What I did, I couldn't breathe at this time. So I asked the driver, like, just take me out from the green zone. Just drive around in Baghdad. It doesn't matter how dangerous it is, just drive me out. I just want to breathe. I cannot breathe in this place anymore. And when I came back after a few hours, it started to be dark. I went up to my room, I brought my bag and was waiting in the lobby. And I asked one of the guys, get me a driver, I want to go back to Holland. You know, during this waiting time, it took so long time. It took maybe 1 hour, 2 hours waiting there. They said, okay, we will contact the office.
So you gave up, you wanted to go back and...
Well, I didn't give up, but they refused it. I have 3 weeks left and I don't have a sponsor. So what shall I do? I said, okay, let me go back and think. I am now destroyed, totally destroyed, really totally destroyed. And I called my wife. I said, hey, forget everything. Tell the team to put it on hold. By the way, something worth to mention, like, because I was from outside Iraq, and Iraqi that lives outside Iraq, I got people from Dubai, Canada, Australia, US, and of course from the Netherlands, so from different countries, Iraqis. And what we did, I built a team from different professionalities from outside Iraq. And when I came back, I found those talented people, like really that wanted to work for, volunteer to build their home country. I connected them, both of them, okay, online. So we built a team from Iraqis outside and from Iraqis from inside.
So those volunteers from outside Iraq, they were ready to come just for the event to support it as a volunteer?
They booked their ticket already. So it was too heavy.
And to explain to the audience, like usually any event, any TED event or TEDx event is... it has to be run through volunteers, that you ask for people to be volunteers to help in making the event happen. That's how it works.
Yes.
You don't hire employees or you pay them. Usually don't pay those volunteers, or if you pay them if you have enough money from the sponsors.
No, we don't pay them. But you can, for example, you cannot do everything by volunteers, because you need to rent a professional team to film the event. Okay, like more the technical side, you need to pay companies to come and film and edit the videos. Those things, it cannot be a sound system, lighting, those kind. But totally for doing the event, getting the speakers, totally is done by volunteers. And you at this time, I was thinking, what shall I say to my team? What shall I say to the world? What shall I say to the speaker? What shall I say to myself? What shall I say to my dream? Shall I just go home and just sleeping there and like saying, okay, I didn't succeed because of this lady? No. So what I did, I had like a kind of a notebook, okay, and a pen. Then I was writing all like without thinking about, writing all those places that I visited in my first visit to Iraq, like this university, the National Theater, this hotel, that hotel, this place, until it became very long list. Because as I told you, first time I visited Iraq for 3 days, it was just to see places where can I put and do the event, hold the event, in which location.
So you were writing them just thinking to make, what are the other possible places to make the event happen?
Yeah, just forget the government. Just forget them, because they said no. And I in the last place I put in one of the famous gardens, like parks. Sorry, outside open park. I said, listen. I just forget the international speakers. I just take the local speakers and take my team, because the team just become very big, okay? And the local team only, okay? A local speaker, and we sit on the grass, on the garden, on this park, and just we put the speakers and we listen to them, and even we fill them with our mobile phones. That's it. I will do it. That's it.
This is you were telling to you're talking to yourself or talking to somebody in your mind?
I am just thinking when I wrote this park, the name of this park, I was yes.
Which park? Zawra?
Zawra Park.
Okay.
Zawra Park. I said, yes, this is for free. I will do it there. Nobody can tell me anything. Nobody can tell me like do it in 2014. I will do it. We will sit as friends. Normal people sit there as friends. I will do it as friends. And I put with a piece of paper TEDx Baghdad. That's it. Story ends. When I was going through those ideas, suddenly 2 guys coming to me, and it become around 11 o'clock night, and I still sitting, waiting for my car to just leave. I see 2 guys, like angry looking, like serious guys, coming to me. I said, oh my God, this is a problem now. And they said, hey, we get the report from this committee, but we want to hear your story also. And then I told them, I said, hey, listen. I told them what happened and how this lady was aggressive, and she wanted to put her.
What was the position of the lady? Who's the lady? She was like in charge of the committee who helped sponsoring the event, or what?
No. She was, as I said, like the government. They did a committee to support this. Like if I need somebody, transportation, they will bring somebody responsible for transportation in this committee. I need somebody for media, they have somebody from media in this committee just to support me, nothing more. So it was put directly like a clear rule. You are not allowed to get involved or to make any promotion in this company, this event, nothing. Okay, so you are not use it for any promotional or politic promotion. Nothing, just forget it. Okay, and she was like, I had one guy sitting in this committee. He said, "Hey, did you make an TV promo? For example, during this meeting, did you make a TV promotion for this event?" I said, "Hey, where shall I bring money from? Do you know what is the minute in TV?" What? It is our Iraqi government. You are not allowed. You are just coming here and want to take. And you never spend money to promote our government. I said, I'm not spending any money and to make any promotion for any government in this world. I am coming here for people. That's it. If you want to make promotion, you do it by yourself. I am not doing this. And we do all our promotion online. and we do only promotion for our speakers and our great ideas. That's it.
Based on the rules
No.
of TED.
TED, yes.
What are the
And
rules of
also-
TED before you go on with the other details of what happened? What are the main
it is-
rules or requirements for a TEDx or TED event?
Yes, there is three golden rules. It is not politic, no religion, and no promotion. So I cannot go on stage. I say, "Hey, I have the best product on earth," or "I am from this political party," I am from my religion is better than your religion. This is the three golden rules, and it was absolutely a fight to not allow this happen on my stage. Because in Iraq here, I visit, by the way, different events here to understand how they build an events here, okay? And all of them, they go on stage and they say, "Hey, thank you for this, thank you for that, thank you for this, minister, thank you for this." And I ask, why are they doing so much? Where is the ideas? Where is the event? And my friends is telling me like, they do this only because they got money for it.
You mean in Iraq, other events you visited? Not other TED events.
No. Other events, as I said. Okay, so basically, the guys, they understood my story, and I explained to them again the rules of TED. And I said, "Hey, listen, by the way, if you don't do it, if you don't want to support me, then I will do it in this park." And I show him the piece of paper where it says this park. And he took it from me. I didn't understand why. And I understood later because he went 11 o'clock, it became 12 o'clock, midnight. And he went to the son of the prime minister at this time, Nouri al-Maliki. And he asked me gently, friendly, like, "Go up to your room and calm down. We will fix it for you." And then at 1 o'clock night, my mobile phone calls. And then I hear, "Hey, Mr. Yahya, this is Ahmed al-Maliki speaking to you, the son of the prime minister." He said, "Hey, sorry what happened to you with the bad experience that you get today, but inshallah, in goodwill, you will do this event and it will be very good for our community here in Iraq. So go ahead with it. I will visit you in 3 days." And then suddenly, strange things during the meeting when he came, as I told you, I showed him that what we did, like I met the volunteers, I created a team. Like in the first meeting, we had more than 110 volunteers. I just met them, okay? And it was, let me just tell you one special thing happened during the meeting with the volunteers. It was totally young Iraqis, full of energy. In the first row, it was a beautiful girl sitting there in the first row. And she was looking to me from up to down, like, "Hey, what is this? What are you talking about? TED and TEDx and blah, blah." And in the end of my presentation, I asked, "If you have any question, ask me." And she was looking at me. She was the first one asking. And she said, "Mister, why you are coming here?" I said, "What do you mean?" She said, "You are not Iraqi even." I said, "Wow. And you live outside. Why you are coming back here?" At this time, I felt very sad because I am not accepted by my own people. That is what I felt. So in front of those 110 persons in this location, my answer was very easy to her. I told her, "Listen, have you been outside Iraq before?" She said, "Yes." And then I said, like, "What do they ask you? Where are you from? What do you answer when they ask you where you are from?" She said, "Of course." I answered them, "I am from Iraq." Of course. Then I said, "I cannot answer this question. because I lived many years in different countries, and I needed a home. I needed something that I will be connected to. And I found home here. And I hope I will stay here. And the girl was like had some tears, and she went out from location, and later on she became one of my best team members. And then we started this journey with TEDx with a lot of changes. For example, we didn't, Ahmed?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, and we didn't, as I said, we put our rules there, very hard rules, never was implemented in Iraq, never ever. So we asked the hotel, like, hey, we want designed food. Hey, I got many bad like feedback. Yeah, come on. People will come with some air condition and some good music and some good speakers, and they just will enjoy and they go out. I said, no, my Iraqi people will enjoy every second of this event. I want the designed food. And I show him like always like photos on mobile, on my iPad, always show him photos from different TEDx events that I have been at. And then when those protocol guys from the Prime Minister office, they came and they told me, hey, we will put like those special chairs in the front. I said, no, you're not allowed to put any special chair. The first row
means
is exactly
for
the
the
same.
VIPs or for the Prime Minister, you
Prime
wanted
Minister.
to keep all the chairs the same.
So basically, we insisted that it will be the first row of chairs for VIPs and for the Prime Minister is exactly the same chairs in the last row. And it took me like to get this permission 4 days. And the Iraqi anthem actually also like it took me a few days to get permission because I decided it will be done by those youngsters from the Iraqi community. I asked them like, hey, wear your t-shirt, show the real Iraqis. Don't hide, show your talent.
Don't make it in formal, make it in your own unique way.
Yeah, and they play the Iraqi anthem like with guitar. You know, all what I'm telling, it is like a real fight. It is a real fight to show the decisions maker, the real us, the real community, how we are. Don't put rules for us that is not matching our real need and community. That is how the Iraqi talents look like. This is their talents, okay? And during my journey, actually, it was like an amazing journey to find those speakers because I visited many places during this, to prepare this event. And I still remember that my wife wanted to do something special during this event, so she said she wanted to send hope to every single one. So she said, hey, we will put our wishes on balloons full of helium and we send it away. So basically, that is what I do when I have a birthday for my little girl, like having those helium balloons. But it was impossible. And they called me crazy. How can you get a helium inside the green zone? It is a bomb. I said, I want just a balloon. And it took like a week to get permission. Okay, and nobody approved it, by the way. So they mixed two gases to make this helium gas. This is the way. And many other experiences there. Like I still remember I had one of the speakers. He got just 3 minutes to speak about his idea. And it was like life-changing for many Iraqis here actually too, and also for him. And another speaker was telling, he was an old guy, like you know, he came to me during the speaker training, and a very old guy in the 70s, maybe, okay, 60 years old maybe, and he's in the age of my father. And he came, his clothes was very dirty, And I thought like he's one of those cleaning guys. So I said, yeah, what do you want? He said, I heard about TEDx and I have an idea and it can change the world. I said, really? You? He said, yes. I said, please sit down. And he explained about his idea and how he reinvented the fan in the engine, so to reduce fuel cost and reduce and decrease the energy, and many others. And this old guy, after the event, he came and was hugging me, and he was also thanking me for getting this experience on the stage, and how it was a beautiful journey for him, because we teach them how to present their idea. But
how the training works for like training that TED gives you as a licensee to operate, how the training work and how the training that you do for the speakers work?
Let me just tell you one thing, that before I answer this question, like this guy, when he was hugging me and almost crying, and he said, you know, when I go back home, it is not sure that I see my wife, because his wife had a cancer operation at the event day.
Oh.
And day before, he took her to the hospital to say goodbye to her. And he said, like, maybe I will not see you after the operation, maybe you will die. And she told him, do this for our children and for our community here. And I just went like little baby and crying, you know. I was like on phone with him until he get home and he saw his wife. And it is an emotional, you know, a lot of emotion. I still remember when we finished the event, I gathered a whole team, not to celebrate, but to ask their feelings. And many of them, especially the Iraqis that came from Iraq, was crying like small babies, and we were hugging each other because they got a chance to see their home country again and reconnect. And they saw the hope, especially the people from Iraq. They saw how great. And there is also presentations, how to train speakers. And also when I visit different events, I see that, okay? And when you watch a lot of TED Talks, you learn how they present their idea. Because it is not a presentation, it is a talk. So it comes from brain to brain, from heart to heart. So it is not a presentation, okay? It is just a talk, like what we are doing now, okay? And journey started with TEDx, and it has been life-changing. I left Netherlands and left my family back, and I found a bigger family here, actually. So I left my wife.
So you did like 3, 4, like 2011, 4 events every year till 2014.
This is the big events, actually. There's big events, but there is a lot of small events inside. So
what's the difference between TEDx Youth, TEDx Universe, TEDx Technology? Why all these different names?
It is different level of license. Like TEDx University is like for maximum 100 people inside the university. Okay, you cannot do it in a different place. TEDx Youth is like recommended, let's say, for speakers, for youth speakers. So it is different.
TEDx Kids.
Yeah, it is for different groups, let's say. And we did a lot of those, and TEDx Women, by the way. So we did the great TEDx Women here in Baghdad, and it was organized by the female team members, actually, and also only female speakers. Okay, so it was amazing.
For each event, for each of these events, you have to get a license, not within your license for the city if you have a TEDx.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
That's right. And by the way, so actually, when I moved here back after the first event, I went back to Netherlands and I quit my job and I came here to Iraq, started the business here, and
So you
lived
started another business because from these events, eventually you're not making money.
I never made money. Actually, I paid a lot of money from my own pocket because there is a lot of extra cost there.
Shortage from the
involved.
sponsors, yeah.
Yeah. But when I left, because I found finally place to be. I found home. And until this second, people asking me, "Are you crazy that you live your old life and coming here?" Oh, I'm not crazy. I feel good, I feel very good. I feel I give every day something. I see a result. When the life of people change, this is priceless. You are not changing their shape or their body or their haircut. You are changing their life. This is a very huge thing. And
you didn't feel any regret over the years from all the problems that you face every year,
honestly,
and do you see the real hope, especially the things are getting, within these 3 years things are not getting better in general in Iraq, so what is the solution? How do you see the solution when you see this great brains, young people? And especially the more problems happening every year, more people are leaving Iraq. Let's say the best 10% leaving, and again the next year the other 10% under the first 10% is going out as well. So what's the solution? What's the hope that you see from your experience there?
I get a question from my core team. We were sitting like friends, and I get this question, actually exactly what you are saying. They said, "Please advise us. Shall we stay or shall we leave Iraq?" And this is the only question that I couldn't answer in my life. Why? Because if I tell them stay, life outside is very dangerous here. 2 days ago, one of my best team members just died.
Yeah, I've seen it.
We lost him in a car bomb. Okay, a young guy, a young doctor, and he was working with me from 2011. So I cannot give this advice to you to stay. But at the same time, I cannot tell you to leave. Because if you leave, if the good people leave, the bad people will stay. So I don't have an answer. What I tell you about my experience, many of those great brains left Iraq, like those team members. They left Iraq. But what made me happy and what gave me more energy this year, I get much more. So if 5 left, I discovered 20, 30 more than them here, full of more energy. So this country will always give. It will never stop. Whatever it happened, whatever war happened, whatever terrorist attacks happened, it will be always giving and providing more and more great people. And this is what I experienced. I was afraid when those team members left Iraq because of the situation has happened with ACEs and so on. But I discovered, my God, there is many more. They built this, especially the last event. And by the way, when I started, we had just 1,500, 1,300 registered people to attend our event. They applied to attend. And we select 700 or 800 from them. But this year, after 4 years, we thought, my God, this will not be that big, okay? After so many years, people maybe are tired, people don't like it. But surprisingly, 5,000 applied to attend the event.
2014.
5,000 people applied to attend a conference one day. In Iraqi rules, an event it stay only for 2, maximum 3 hours. Our event is like a whole day from 10 o'clock until 5 o'clock evening. And many Iraqi girls, we insist to put 50% of the team from female Iraqi girls. And their family, their parents, bringing them to me and say, hey, let them work with you. And they stay alone inside the green zone. They stay alone in the hotel. This is not normal in our culture here, that you leave your daughter who is 20, 22 years old alone.
So they are putting their trust in you.
Not only me, in what we are doing actually, because there is nothing involved. Okay.
Yeah,
we are not involved. We are not involved in any politics. We are not involved in selling and buying tickets or whatever, like for the event and making money from the event. And we are not involved in any religion activities here. This is the real Iraq. What you see is just Iraq.
How TED management measures your success as a licensee?
Basically about the quality of talks you provide, and of course we have a form that we need to send. What were the problems, the wow moment or the success moment, and also they follow us. There is a team that follow us on Facebook, and to see the reaction between people and followers. Basically, like, let me give you an example. Like when we open a registration, it doesn't matter which time of the day, people are getting like fight to get like this.
Yeah, you have a great interaction on your page.
Yeah. And many people like say like, hey, 4 years I applied and I didn't get. Hello.
Yeah.
Hello.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So how people looking as a hope of source for this TEDx event.
How long, like each speech should be? Each TED or TEDx speech should be?
Maximum 18 minutes, and we have different like times: 3, 6, 9, 10 minutes, or 18 minutes. It depends on the idea.
And what is your advice to any future TED speaker?
Just don't be afraid for explaining and sharing your idea, because people are afraid here to share their ideas openly. Why? Because of 2 reasons. Either there is no trust here. They say it will get stolen directly, or they will get killed directly, because they have brains, and there is bad people here that want to get away or take out those great brains. So this is 2 reasons I have difficulties with always. So I am always advising them, don't be afraid. We cannot just shut up and don't show ourselves and our community how great we are, because we still have ideas here.
What are the other ideas or projects that you're involved in and thinking about for the future? And what are you involved in terms of business there now?
Actually, what we did before also, we did like ideas that came out from the community. For example, we did a very simple thing. We just made the design, keep Baghdad clean, and we put it on the Facebook, and we asked people like, hey, put it everywhere. So people start to print it out, this design, and put it on taxi cars, put it on hospitals. So this was a great project. Second project we did, we went to orphans, and we went to a special group of women in need, and we asked them to make a garbage bag that we can put in the car, okay, so people put their garbage and not to throw it away, and now we are actually developing a center for creativity actually, where we enhance the creativity for people here and teach them how to think creative. So we cut this. The feeling they have, like, I don't have any creativity, I don't have any ideas anymore.
This has nothing to do with TEDx. This is like personal thing that you're working on, a project to help as well the community.
Yeah. Beside TEDx, actually, the first projects we did it through TEDx or through our social media, actually. So
you're still fighting to stay there, and your plan is to stay there.
Of course. Beside this, by the way, all this is beside my regular job. So I have a daily job. My day start at 7 o'clock in the morning and end late nights.
What is the other job?
So when I had like 2 jobs here in Iraq. I was leading a telecom company as a GM here in Iraq. And the second job now, I am leading a program, a new project for the e-payment in Iraq that will be introduced for the first time in Iraq. So it is totally...
So it's like a credit card e-payment, because there is a big problem with the e-payment in Iraq.
Yes, it is not a credit, but it is transferring money and paying money digitally. E-payment, like using your mobile, using an e-card, using internet, like
who's leading the project? Who's like the company responsible for the project?
The company responsible, it calls Sky. It is one of the biggest internet provider in whole Iraq. And they have this project, and they started in a small scale, and now they want to enhance it and to make it bigger. So I spoke with the owner, Marwan here, and he asked me to lead this team here and to lead this project.
So how it works is like they deposit certain money, and then they get provided with certain cards like credit cards, and they pay for when they want to buy online something?
Yes, yeah. You have basically an e-wallet on the web, and you charge it with money, and you can do shopping online.
When it will start to be operational?
It is operational, but...
So how is your daily life and routine look like?
In Baghdad, it is very dangerous, especially nowadays, to move out. So basically, I am based in the company where I'm working, sleeping, eating, and working there. Sometimes I avoid to go out, like many other people, because you don't know when it happened. I mean, car bomb. Especially nowadays, it have been like before. Was it only in the daylight? Nowadays, it is anytime. It is very difficult nowadays. So I wake up in the morning, and then I go to my office, and we start working on the project. And if I have a meeting, actually I have it inside the office. And if it is very, very necessary, I go out. And then we try to have like lunch. It is lunch, dinner, breakfast at the same time in a restaurant close to here, where we can sit together with friends and exchange some words. That's basically my day here in Baghdad. Sometimes when it becomes very, very difficult, very dangerous, like for example this week I go back to Erbil.
Your family in Erbil?
They have been in Erbil, but because what happened lately with the ACEs, I moved them back to Netherlands with my 3 kids. So it was very difficult to stay there. And still it is difficult, by the way.
And now they will, after your project, which is your wife involved in, they will move back to Baghdad, or how you will do it?
No, my wife is not involved in my business project, let's say. She's involved only in TEDx events, and it is once a year, but it take like most of the preparation. It is done online, and if I need if people speakers, we can meet in closed areas, close to office and close to their universities, close to their workplaces, so not traveling so much with car here. Yeah. So
What did you
as I
learn? What did you learn through this 4 years?
That actually there is no price for your life if you don't leave behind you a remark, because you can be dead any second. The most important thing that you leave
A legacy.
a remark, behind you.
And you feel that you left the legacy with bringing this event to Iraq?
Yeah, and changing so many people's lives here. So one of the beautiful emails I got, I still remember it, and it was a young lady. She's saying that we have been waiting always for this day. Can you please extend it? Because this is the only day we feel hope. There is hope in this country. So make it longer, please. And if you can make it for a whole year, it is much better. So it was touching. And another email I get, it says like, hey, me and my friends, we both new clothes. You know, this habit, like buying a new clothes, it happened when it is a celebration. Normally, when it is after Ramadan, Eid al-Fitr.
Eight time, yeah.
Yeah. So they go and buy a new clothes, and they do their hair and makeup, and they come to a big brain party to us. By the way, during those 4 years, I always hear exactly the same feedback every year from different persons, like from the guards outside the hotels, from the hotel management. We change location many times. Every day, every time, every event I hear, are they Iraqis? Do they live here in Iraq? Because they never see this kind of energy that comes and want to stay whole day. Okay, and they jump on stage to take photos, and they are so proud. They connect to each other, so they never experience this kind. Always, it is like, look, I am there for a few hours and go out.
I felt that, like when I attended and participated in 2013, I felt really that there is a hope, and those guys can make a change. And I see, like in their eyes, that the hope, and I felt it personally. And even like because you gave back so much, the God or the karma rewarded you with so many opportunities there, and job opportunities and business opportunities, because you just gave for not without expecting anything to get, but you also got some experiences and some like opportunities there because of that. And yeah, I wish you all the best there. What are your other hobbies that you do?
Actually,
other than avoiding bombs?
I actually like something very strange in this country, between all many strange things here, that before I used to listen to music, I used to paint, but here you cannot do so much because you are trying to avoid. And what, like in a normal
environment,
in a normal meeting, we sit with the friends. You're watching your time. Oh my God! Oh shit! It is like 10 o'clock. We need to run away now before they close the streets. When I wake up in the morning, in many days, it is like a daily routine. Did you hear about the change in the government? Did you hear about this bomb? Did you hear about this was killed? So all this is killing motivation to you. The only way, and it is actually an advice I learned from the other people, is to go out and come back. So you refresh your mind, because this environment here, it is not healthy, to be honest with you.
Oh, you mean
So
to
it is
go
so-
out of Iraq for a while and then you come
Yeah,
back?
yeah. You go out for a week, for a few days, and you come back. Because here it is very difficult. That's why I am saying I am too proud to find those guys that are 1,000 times stronger than me and many other, and they can develop their ideas and they can work in this difficult situation here. I'm so proud to find them and to promote them to the world and to the rest of the community here.
Who are your top 3 mentors?
Life, business, everything.
Yes.
Actually, my mother was always telling me about stories about my uncles, how successful they were, and how they started from scratch and how they built their businesses. That is one. And the second one is directly my wife, because during this time, I almost lost my family many, many times. And I mean my family, it's my close family, my wife and my kids, 3 girls. It is not healthy, to be away in a dangerous place like Iraq. Like every time if I go out, I get many phone calls from her or from the kids. Mama, did you come back safe? So it is not healthy. So she have been supporting me amazingly. And the third person actually is the persons, I'm saying persons, who I learned from during my life. For example, I have like a beautiful, that I watch millions of times, a presentation of Steve Jobs when he speak about the 3 lessons, of life, about his journey in 15 minutes. I have a beautiful book that I read by Richard Branson that I learned so much personally from. Richard Branson, the owner of Virgin Airline. How he started it calls lessons in life and business. How he started and all those problems that he got in his life until he becomes so great and successful businessman. So all those, I put them in one category.
As a mentor.
As a mentors, and if I feel very bad, I always go back to them and I get back so much energy.
What is the most important factors for success in 3 words? Or the three things that leads to success, like 3 different things in 3 words.
Yeah. Maybe it is difficult to summarize it in 3 words, but first, you never give up. Never, ever give up. The second thing, believe in yourself. Not believe in what is happening around you. Noise happening around you, forget that. Just believe in yourself. And the third and most important part, if you make mistakes, enjoy it. Because don't be sad that you made a mistake. You will be sad. We are a human being. You will be sad. Okay?
Learn
Take
from
your
it.
time. You take your time and be sad, but always before you go to bed, smile, because there is some beautiful moments in those mistakes. There is beautiful memories in those mistakes. So don't be afraid to make mistakes. And if you follow those, believe me, in whatever you do, in your study, in your business, you will reach something. If you're not afraid, and if you believe in yourself, and you are not afraid to lose anything and making mistakes, so you will be successful in whatever you do. Okay?
What are the habits that you're trying to develop to stay efficient?
Actually, I have been working so hard last years. Like when I came here, and when this journey started, trying to connect the dots from the first day when I remember my life until this day. For example, why I get this job by a design company, a promotion company. Okay, why I took from nothing. I got accepted in a communication and marketing study. Why I am here, because I do the designs for TEDx Baghdad and I have feedback on them. This is from previous experiences I had in my work. But if you tell me like you need to work with designs before because you will do designs for TEDx Baghdad, I will not.
So you never know. You learn some things. You use it sometimes after tens of decades, and then you start connecting the dots.
Yeah. So basically, whatever happened to me now, like I was near death like a few times here in Iraq, and it is a strange feeling. You cannot believe it, okay, and you cannot explain it when you are close to death. But at the same time, you feel, hey, there is something coming. This accident will be connected to something in the future. I don't know what is it. So I am trying always to connecting these thoughts, always in my mind. Okay, when I met this speaker, let me tell you about one story. This is very, very beautiful, and this will explain what I am saying. I invited this year on TEDx Baghdad 2014 a girl that called Zainab Al-Iqabi. Okay, she is Iraqi from Dubai, and she lost her leg because of a bomb at her house. When she applied to be a speaker, she applied in 2013. And I sent a very clear email. You didn't do anything special, so go and do something special and come back to me. So I will not accept you because of your handicap. Okay, and so she took 1 year from 2013 to 2013 to develop an amazing community that says like handicap and proud. And she got many followers to be proud about their handicap. At the specific day, she get invited to TEDx Baghdad as a speaker first. During this week, 1 week before the event, when we was busy with training her and everything, one of my speaker trainer friends, he lost his one leg, in a car bomb. And his family was destroyed, this young guy, losing his leg and becoming a handicap. So she is coming to him, to the hospital and supporting him and let him have a hope again in life. So those things, there is an amazing and magical moments that happen in your life that nobody is planning them. But do what you love, okay? Believe in yourself, and those magical moments, this will happen automatically, nobody planning. This is what I'm trying to connecting the dot, my God.
By the way, Zainab Al-Aqabi is in Baghdad. There is only one. She's our neighbor. There is only one house between our house and their house. And when the accident happened, I heard the bomb. Yeah, when it happened.
Wow.
She's a big fighter. She's really a big fighter, and also I invited her for the show. She's soon gonna be on the show. Great lady, and very big inspiration. Big inspiration.
And she came this day to give a life back to a guy that lost his life almost.
Wow. And she's by the way, even the most inspirational and most, let's say, positive person in her family. I know most of the family members, she's very positive and happy all the time, regardless of the disability that she has in her leg. And she always say that, and always the disability is not in an organ in your body, it's always in the mind. and she has a great mind. What are the top 3 apps that you use on your smartphone?
Oh, nowadays, my God, maybe I am becoming too old because now I use like Viber, WhatsApp, and Skype, and those are not apps. Believe me, I have like hundreds of apps on my phone. But before I used like different apps, but now those apps, and I use Trello a lot for planning, and also I have like the most 3, let's say, it's like Trello and TED. TED has an app there. And then I
Trello
use...
is planning what? Is it a to-do list or it's planning app?
Yeah, it is kind of a to-do, mix between to-do and planning app.
What is the website of the company that offering in Iraq now the e-payment? Just I want to know the website where the people can visit to see this service.
It is Iraq ePay, iraqepay.com.
Okay.
Where you can charge. Yeah.
What are your top 3 favorite books?
As I said, like now I just finished this Richard Branson amazing book, like about lessons in life and business. It was life-changing for me. And this is the late one. Actually, when I moved here, reading books was like not once my strength again here. So this book, I bought it from Netherlands, and today when I was very sad, I went out to one of the streets and I get an old book, and I get it because one thing. If you see, it is very old. And if you smell it, I smell book again. But the subject was the IBM way. Like it is a marketing book. They explain how IBM run their marketing businesses. So this is one of the ones that I'm going to read now. Yeah.
What are the things that makes you really happy?
Oh my God. Actually, what makes me really happy, that is too many people looking for happiness, and there is no answer for happiness. Happiness you cannot buy. What makes me really happy is when I see a smile in the face of a different person. That's it. I don't know if it's right or wrong. I don't know. Maybe I need to find different source to be happy. But in this age, at this moment, I don't have any other sources, to be honest with you.
Last question, how people can contact you?
They can contact me on Yahay. This is YAHAY at TEDxBaghdad.com.
Wow. Thank you so much, Yahya, for this great journey and interview. And I think one of your future goals should be to write this journey as a book, and to approach, and the dream for you should be, or the next goal is to make it a movie, because it will be very inspirational and it will be very interesting for people to watch, and the cinema, I mean the producers will make lots of money selling this great story. Amazing. This is the longest interview that I have ever done, and I will divide it into 2 or 3 parts because I was really enjoying the story, and I want the world to know about the great achievement that you have done to Iraq and to the people there. Thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate it, Yahya.
Thank you, my friend. Thank you, Ahmed. And thank you for this opportunity also. I wish you a beautiful life. Full of smiles.
Thank you so much. Thanks, everyone. Be efficient and stay efficient, and see you soon with another leading expert.